So, on behalf of the Red Pond Educational and Psychological Research Center Madurai and Yellow Pond Counseling Center Madurai, we heartily welcome you for the second day of the e-workshop on Optimism Part 1. Thank you all for participating in this workshop. And me, I'm Dr. Chandra. I have my PhD in agriculture. I have all my degrees in agriculture. And I'm very passionate to learn psychology. So I have pursued the courses in psychology and I have learned some steps in the recent days. So I'm going to be your facilitator today for the session on characteristics of optimism. So I'm here to share my insights, perspectives, and other learnings that I've had from other courses. So as a group, today we are going to discuss a lot about the qualities, the traits, and characteristics of optimism. So I wish you participate either by chat or by audio. So let us make a wonderful learning together today. You can also contribute your thoughts and ideas at the end of the session, so I can learn something from you as well. Hope you're all happy with the session now, and shall we start? Yeah, I'm gonna start the session with a small activity. I'm going to explain you a situation, and I wish you respond to it. So the situation is you have a close friend or a family to whom you have a constant contact and you interact with them regularly. Imagine they have gone ups and downs in their lives and they have shared that with you regularly, and you know them and you have been a part of their healing process. So the question now is, whenever they say a problem to you, more than once they should have shared your problems with you. So whenever they say a problem with you, you should have responded to them positively and also you have consoled them. I wish you write some statements that you have used most positively and optimally to console them. You understand my question? You have been with that person in their ups and downs. You know about them very well. Whenever they had a difficult situation, they have been speaking to you and you have said some nice words to them to heal them or console them. So I want you to write few optimistic statements that you have used to console them anytime they have shared their problem with you. Can we do it? I'll give you 3 minutes. Is that fine? So after you are done, you can just give me a thumbs up or put your hands up and then we start the session. Good. And I'm going to write my own too. Okay? Good. Let's do it together. Am I clear with what I have explained to you so far? Yeah? We are going to write the positive statements that we have used. It can be anything, not necessarily the positive statements, whatever you have spoken to them in their problematic times, the tough situations. Yeah, we have a lot to write. We have spoken a lot of good things to people, isn't it? Nice. Are we done? Thank you, Priya, for your thumbs up. Okay. So, Kapoor sir is still writing. Maybe we'll give him a minute more. That's okay. Good. I have got a thumbs up from Vishaka Parvati ma'am. Thank you, Kanaka ma'am. Thank you for your answer. Thank you. Okay. So, can I have a couple of volunteers from here? You can just share. You don't have to say, Kapoor sir will take the first turn, but you don't have to tell the situation, but you can say who is the person, and you don't have to name them if you are not comfortable. You can say who is he, a friend or a family, and what have you said to them. So Kapoor sir has been the first person now for us.
Hi. I understand your emotion of anxiety and confusion. Anyone in this situation may be taking it as a challenge. But I appreciate that though it is a challenge for you, but I appreciate your openness that you are discussing it with the mindset of finding some solution to that instead of getting just muggling in that. You want to have some discussion on that so that the situation can be sorted out in the best possible way. And I really
Good.
appreciate your openness.
Good. Nice words you have given, Kapoor sir. The person would have been definitely comfortable with it. Any other volunteer? Any one more? Kadari?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I would. I understand that you are in pain, and I am there to help you. Be brave and confident. Don't think too much negative. Think only good things. Then everything happens in a positive way. Problems will come and go. We have to deal with them.
Okay, thank you, Kadari. So, from what Kapoor sir and Kadari has shared with us, they have understood the pain of the person and they have said some nice words to them to console them. So, about this activity, we'll hold on for a while and we'll start with the presentation. And I have got you a slide to discuss more about this activity. Shall we wait for it? So, let's start with the presentation now. I'm going to share you the slides. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah. Are you able to see? Yeah. So as I told you in the beginning, we are going to discuss about the characteristics and the components of optimism. So yesterday we have learned about what is optimism, and also we have learned what is learned optimism. From that we understood an optimist and what are the what are the characteristics a person should possess to be more optimistic. So to be in detail, so we see that what is the feeling of optimism? It is that optimism is something really green and positive in all our opinions, and we wish a great thing in the future. Look at, as Susan rightly said yesterday, it is all about the opportunities they will look at, not just the problems. Optimism is mainly not being positive 100% all the time, but it is about trying to be more positive even in the negative situations. That is all optimism is about. So this slide shows a happy girl carrying a basket of flowers, and when you think about optimist, you can just feel that person in her. And what is she trying to imply is like everybody have setbacks in their life, and optimism doesn't mean that we don't have any negative shades of life. When we are being optimistic, we will be a bold person to face the challenges and we will try to find a solution out of that situation, even if it is bad. So it is mainly about accepting the situation. Optimistic people will be more successful than people who are having a negative attitude or a negative thought process. That is widely acceptable. So when it comes to the characteristics of all, here are some of the important characteristics that you can see, which is quoted by Robert Louis Stevenson. So what he is saying is a person who has stopped to be thankful, who is not expressing gratitude, has fallen asleep in life means there is no real life in that person if you are not being thankful. So, The Power of Optimism by Alan Loy McGuinness shows 12 characteristics of tough minded optimists who see the power of perception. So, I would read out some of these and you can have later to go through it. So, optimists are seldom surprised by trouble. That means optimistic people are really prepared for any situation. They have more hopes and confidence to face any kind of situation coming up in their life. So they don't really feel surprised having a troublesome or problematic situation. In a given situation, even if there are not many solutions, optimistic people will have a partial, approach of having a partial solution to that problem. They often believe that they have control over their future and they never allow their thoughts to ruin by the negative things that comes up, and they always have a high of appreciation. They feel very cheerful. They are very open to accept what can be changed and what cannot be changed. And also, they have control over the situation. That means they try to understand what is possible for them to have control. It is always better to leave the situations or things that we can't take control. So, these are the important characteristics an optimist person could possess. We have seen the characteristics, these are the traits. So traits, we are going to see some of the important traits. It has got a very important role to play in a person's life. So the first one is resilience. We all know resilience is our courage to bounce back to the original form. Whatever comes up, we always have a challenging situation in life and we have to fight against it, and we have to take really less time to come forward. Who can be resilient? An optimistic person can easily be resilient. Not quitters, meaning if there is a situation and if the optimistic person cannot solve it, they don't just really feel to quit in the first place. They will give their best to try different solutions, and then they will come to a solution in which they can play a definite role in solve the problem. Activity. This means to say optimistic people are really proactive and they are very much, enthusiastic, and they make a lot of efforts to make the people really feel better and also themselves. So a resilient person can be more optimistic. An optimistic person can become resilient. In that way, they are very enthusiastic as well. Forgiveness. So optimistic people can forgive people easily. It is because they always look side of the thing or a situation. They don't find fault with the minor things that happens really less, and they don't find fault easily. So forgiveness is one prime quality of optimistic person. So when it comes to this, they are less obsessive. They are less obsessive to negative things, meaning they are feeling more positive of themselves. And they also believe that a positive expectation can improve their own well-being. So they are less obsessive to things, less. So it is very clear. Carver says, given the same stressor, they are less aversively react to it, meaning they are used to handle the situation better. So whenever there is a stressful situation, they know their own technique and they know their own way of handling it better. We will not deny to this statement, because optimistic people, when they know a better way to handle things positively, they know for what to worry and for not to worry. So pessimism is not their piece of cake. So when you don't have so much of worries or so much of things to go in your mind, definitely, I'm sure we will have a better sleep. And I've seen more optimistic people who have just slept in 5 minutes when they are to the bed. That is really a blessing, I think. And they can easily forgive. I think they also appreciate smaller things that they see in other people or they see in the situations or whatever they experience. So I think optimistic people, they have a healthy attitude of experiencing gratitude and also being the people. altruism. So it is, like what is we have there is a study conducted by Dennis Charney from the School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. He has studied veterans, and he found that altruism is one of the important characteristics of the optimistic people. So optimistic people will definitely find a way every day to be more altruistic. See the traits and here are some of the high appreciable qualities of the optimistic people, which are also considered to be the secrets of success. So optimistic people, we have seen that they are good and forgiving, they are very grateful, they have got better ways to handle things, they are more positive, and they are less obsessive to negative thoughts, and they are more resilient. And optimistic people also find ways to inspire others through their achievements. So they don't find fault with any situation. They will try their best and give their best to fulfill the demands of that situation. So again, optimistic people are very grateful. We keep saying about gratefulness, gratitude, and forgiveness because talking more about this makes us feel what are the qualities an optimistic person can have and what are the areas that we can concentrate to feel more optimistic. So they focus on positive aspects, as I told you already, though there are many negative aspects surrounding them, they all see to the brighter side of the situation. And it is quite normal for them to face obstacles because they have had experiences, they have gained hope in a situation. So they always use that technique to overcome the negative sides of the situations. And also, they always see to the bigger picture. Thinking outside the box is one of the important characteristics an optimistic person could possess. Yes, that means optimistic people are not always successful. Acceptance is one good quality an optimistic person has. So when it comes to failures, they also accept it as a part of their life and they are feeling very grateful about what they have achieved in their life. And if they fail in doing one task, it is not that they quit doing it. As I told you, they are not quitters. Optimistic people, when they fail at one time, they try doing the task another time and they keep trying it until they give their best and then they feel better in achieving what they have to. So this means also to say that they have got many opportunities to learn lessons from it and they avoid making mistakes. Helping people, their activities and their actions inspires people around and they are like trying their best to help people and also they give more hope to people also and very much hopeful about their own future. As we all know that honesty is the best policy and they are very sincere with themselves and they take the responsibilities of every actions they do. They never hide the truth and they accept the truth straight away on the faces and they accept their faults and mistakes with confidence because they always believe that they can always learn from their mistakes and they can make better lessons for their future. Motivated. This is one good quality an optimistic person will definitely possess because most of us would love to hear nice words from other people and we need motivations, inspirations. We all have our own role models. But optimistic people, by experience, they are self motivated. So they never bother about who has to approve or disapprove. They just motivate themselves to achieve their goals and they don't need anybody's consent about their decisions and they believe in each and every action they are doing. Accept people as it is, it means they don't want the other people to change for themselves. Most of us, if we can't have a control over the situation, the first step we would expect is the other person to change. But I would say the optimistic people, they don't want others to change because they accept the other people as they are. They have a good sense of self love and they appreciate little things in other people. And they also know how to value individuals. Everybody is different. Every individual has their own potential, their own limitations, their own, or their own things. And we can't spend time teaching the other people. The best thing is they find their own way to keep themselves happy and also they keep others happy They are not egoistic. They never expect the other person, to take the first step. They will be like very proactive. They will be like knowing the worth of the other person. They will ignore the negativity from the other people, and they get easily attracted with good energy and good vibes. So this is how they accept the people as they are. Improvement. Most of us in this world, we should have experienced that. We have seen people, instead of caring for their own self, they keep worrying about the improvement of others in good and bad sense. Meaning, if you are in a family, the elder people will worry about the siblings who have to come up in their life like they are. And also they think about how come the other person is improving in life and where are we lacking. No, this doesn't happen with optimistic people. Optimistic people have self care as their priority. They constantly motivate themselves. They work on their weaknesses and their strengths, and that helps them achieve more and more. Overall, the optimistic people really make an effort to have their life filled with positivity and optimism. Not a surprise to know that optimistic people are curious, because they are making more efforts to develop nicer things in themselves, and also they make effort in helping people. So in every situation they will try to find what is coming up new, and having hope is the best element they have as a base for staying optimistic. Being optimistic is not just being optimistic for the moment, it is for all their life. So it needs a lot of motivation, it needs a lot of hope, it needs a lot of strength, it needs a lot of practice to stay the same. I think these might look very familiar. What about gratitude, forgiveness? We talk about everyday things, but really to practice all those as one quality is really hard. And when we try out, we can definitely be one of the optimistic persons in this world. And in this corona pandemic, you see, wherever you turn, you had and you heard different negative things that was not really nice. So we really need some nicer and positive things to keep the life moving. Happiness is a journey, it is not destination. So it comes and goes. It is all in our efforts, and it is our choice to decide whom we want to be. I'm sure we would not like to be pessimistic, but just not liking to be pessimistic is not the solution. Having learned all this, we have to take all these steps forward, work out one by one slowly, and I'm sure we can gain improvement in our own lives. This means optimists surround themselves with upbeat people. Upbeat people means, you see, you are always surrounded by different kind of people, and you are influenced by them. So always having nice and positive people around you will make you more positive and feel better. There is a proverb saying like, show your friend, I will say who you are. That means it doesn't hold good only with friends. It's also about the companion, it's also about the family, it's also about everything. It's also surrounded, it also means the public that surrounds you. So surrounding yourself with optimistic people definitely will boost your life with more positivity and positive spirits. So being with positive thinkers help us will feel more powerful. Personally, I would say attending to psychology courses of my own interest, that helped me a lot in changing my views and perspectives to different things. We might know something in life, but listening to people, listening to their thoughts, listening to their perspectives will definitely provoke your thoughts to look things in a different perspective, and also to look at something in a bigger picture. So it is important to surround people, to have people surrounded by us with optimism. It is because you don't get any negative vibes around you. Even if you are down, you get cheered up, you get powered up with all the positive thoughts around you, and you feel really, really good. So, optimistic people will stay strong. They don't change their opinions so easily because they always have worked very hard to be optimistic, and they believe in what they are doing, and they are very strong in making decisions. They are also concerned about other people around, so they believe that whatever they decide will be for goodness. So they are not afraid about others' opinion on their decisions. They stay whom they are, and they are really successful, and they are not feeling unhappy even if they fail to achieve their goals, because they know their own way of how to handle it. So it is all about being optimistic, is all about finding a positive thing in every situation, seeing to the brighter side. Is just as simple as that, but it needs a lot of efforts to be the same forever. Passionate. So optimistic people, what they do is like, whatever they do, they try to be more passionate in doing something. You know, everybody wants to try out different things, but positive people, they wanted to see some nicer things in whatever effort they make. So it is all about not making mistakes. It is about how best they can use their potential, how best they can create something nice. So the passion is really inbuilt in them, if you are really optimistic. Again, it's not very different from what we have been speaking before. It is just they are very more creative people. They think about many ways. It is not just one way to solve a problem or one way to do a thing. They are very much creative in making different thoughts, and they think very positively. And being positive, it definitely stimulates your way of thinking pattern. At of time, having practiced so many positive things in life, even you don't get a second of distraction to see something really negatively, that will give a good feeling. And it's not just you. I have heard some people saying that, I have been talking to this person and I feel really good because it's a lot of positive vibes that I receive from that person, and I like talking to that person. I don't think it can happen in one day, but if we try every time to avoid being negative, I won't say we can't avoid negative situations, but we can avoid being negative and react positively to a thing, and we are going to be a truly optimistic person forever. So, having said all these qualities, traits, and characteristics, here are some of the things in nutshell. We are going to talk about what optimism. So, as I said, optimistic people are self-motivated. And you know, there are many things, many people have researched and said that they believe in what they do, they understand, and the self-motivation comes from themselves, and they know what their dreams are. They are willing to take risks. They don't change their decisions. So it is very important to learn to be self-motivated, to look at the nicer and positive things, and to be clear about what we are doing and make a very clear-cut decision. So being self-motivated is always you can talk to yourself saying it is possible. You have your own way to do it. There are solutions to the problems. You need to wait. Everything cannot happen in 1 second, but have the hope and faith that it is going to happen. Definitely it's going to happen. It says like, surrounding with positive people. We discussed before that having our friends and family with positive vibes are more important in our ups and downs, and also being there for people is also really a nice thing. There is a saying that says a positive life can never come from a negative mind. I completely agree with this. Negativity exists, and that's why we can taste the power of positivity, but it is all about how we practice positivity only by pushing the negativity aside. Okay. And there is one person, Jim Rohn, he said that one of us, it's me. If you say Chandra is the average of five people that she mixes with. So if a person can tell who you are in a group of a similar quality. I mean, a group of people with a similar quality. So it is very important to be in a good group, nicer group that always teaches you more positivity, from where you can learn nicer things. And also, it is important to inculcate positivity wherever you are. So, in one word, if you say, if you want to be more optimistic, get along with positive people. Don't spend so much of time in correcting the negative things in others. Don't get imbibed in that. Try to be good to people. Try to help them as much as you can. But it is very important that you choose your own crowd. That makes you feel more positive and optimistic. So it is again expressing gratitude. So first we spoke about self-motivation. That is very important to be optimistic, to continue to be optimistic. Secondly, we saw how we are surrounded by a group of positive people. Definitely, that is the quality that you will get in you. So it is very important to choose your own crowd. Thirdly, it is important to express gratitude. We are living a life with lot of grateful things. Being on earth itself is a blessing. So it is very nice and it is very important to acknowledge even the little things. So if you are able to be grateful to little things, there you will find what kind of blessed life have we got to live on earth. And when we are grateful for what we have, we always feel we are very wealthy. Wealthiness, it's not just about having money. There are many things in this earth that we can't buy with money. And one quality is being optimistic. Having nicer people around you will fetch you a lot of nicer things. Just the vibes that you receive will keep you energized, makes you feel more powerful. So it is highly recommended and encouraging to be more grateful even to the little things. Saying a thank you to mummy for her nice food. Thank you to the brother who has taken you and dropped you somewhere. You can thank each and everyone in the family, and if you feel like after the session you can show your gratitude to someone really, so that you mark yourself that you have begun your first step in becoming more optimistic. We have not thanked each and everyone who has crossed our lives, but if we can sit and think, we can say every person who has come in our life has taught us something really nice. May it be good or bad, we have learned from them. So we have learned some nicer things from people, and we have also learned how we shouldn't be. That is also a lesson some people has given to us in our lives. So we are feeling grateful each and every moment. So let us be more grateful and express our gratitude. Let us appreciate even simpler things. This is one nice thing that I wanted to say is like optimistic people don't listen to naysayers, meaning naysayers is like people who are saying no. They don't listen to it because they're very confident about what they're deciding. They are very promising in their actions, and they don't wait for the consent from other people. So naysayers or people who always say no. Here is one nice example. We all know about Arnold Schwarzenegger. He always wanted to become a bodybuilder initially, but a lot of people told him that is not going to be possible for him, but he never ignored his own goal. He ignored the thoughts and the negative words from other people. He worked on it. He trained on his, ambition, and he won Mr. Olympia title 7 times after hearing a lot of negative things from people. So this is one good example. Then Arnold decided to join the movie industry. Since he became too bulky being a bodybuilder, they say that it was too difficult for him to take a chance in the movie. Then he broke off all the negativity and he worked on his goal. And then he became one of the world most famous actors in Hollywood, highest paid all times. I don't know what they are paid and now who is paid more, but he has lived his life of what he thought he should become. So this is about saying that optimistic people don't listen to naysayers. So have faith in whatever we do. Always believe that we can do. Really, really, we can be successful in what we wanted to become. Happy and joyful because they're highly positive. They always want to help people. They are self-motivated. They are resilient. They are grateful. They are forgiving. And having all these nicer qualities, you can definitely be happy and joyful. And it is said that happiness is not just by being really, really happy. Even an act of smiling at someone or someone smiling at you would definitely bring a change in you. So as much you can just share a smile. You can make the other person happy, and you can also feel, all your facial muscles will get toned properly, and you feel so young when you're more happy and more joyful. So coming to this point, I hope that whatever we have discussed before is all about some important qualities the optimistic person should have. So coming to grounded optimism, I would like to have one more volunteer who did the activity in the beginning of our session to say a few statements of what they have written so that we can connect to what is grounded optimism and then we can proceed. Can I have any other volunteer? So we had Kapoor sir and Kadari who said their statements. Can I have one more volunteer to have your statements?
I'll go. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear.
So few statements what I've written was something better will come your way. So I often tell people about even if something goes wrong now, maybe something is better stored for us, is what I say. And
Okay.
another
Thank
one,
you.
what I've written is do not worry, this time will pass, and this is not going to be a permanent thing. There's another thing which I often use.
Okay. Thank you, Priyanka, for sharing your statements. So, for whoever has, can you please mute your mic? Thank you, because I hear the. Okay. So, for whoever has joined newly, we had an activity before the start of the session. The situation, you can't hear me? Yeah. Okay. So, for whoever, we had an activity before the start of the session. The activity was I asked our friends in the group to write the positive statements to a person who has been in trouble many a times in their lives, and you have been with them in all their ups and downs. That is more important because when you are with them, you know what exactly they are going through. So that is the activity given. And I asked you to write the statements that you have used in consoling them or comforting them or whatever. So you have given your statements. So perfectly all your statements highly positive. It is comforting, consoling, all good. But there is something beyond what it is. It is grounded optimism. I have learned in one of my courses very recently, and that was really impressive. I thought it is another perspective of looking at optimism. So I thought I should share this with you. So, having said all your statements, so I have my own statements that I used to do before, but I have changed it now. So, it is like when my friends shared their problems with me, I would usually say, you should be okay. You're not alone. We are with you. So, I'll pray for you and the family for a speedy recovery. And all of us do have problems, so we are together. So, this is the statement that we use generally, most of us. But coming to grounded optimism, it is said that when a person is going through tough times, many a times, and if somebody is keeping on saying, you should be okay, you're okay, you should be okay, it is not just us talking to that person. Surely there are many people talking to them like this. So it makes the person feel really bad at one point of time because their thought process goes this way. They start to think it is me who is going through that situation. These people are easily talking about you are okay, and they don't really understand the essence of my problem and the pain I'm suffering through. This means to say that okay is not just enough to motivate them. Your problems will be all right is not just enough. And we are there for you. We are there for them morally, emotionally, and that is not just enough. So the better way to motivate the people who are really in trouble or in problem or facing some tough times is we can always quote some tough incident that has happened in their past, and we can say the way that they have handled it to go through the situation in a better way and have come out of it. So when a person is telling, I'm feeling bad for this situation or I'm feeling really unhappy, so we can always tell them, do not worry. You have been a strong person. You are really courageous. You have gone through tough situations before. And can you imagine what have you done to overcome that problem? You did it all by yourself. So if you can think something like that and work out on that problem, I'm sure you're going to overcome the problem. This is called grounded optimism. That means you are trying to relate the person's past experience and their way of handling it to tell them it is going to be possible for them also now to overcome this current problematic situation. Am I clear? Any doubts? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the point of grounded optimism is not just saying you will be okay, you're not alone, you are really, you can handle it. Things will change soon. This is not permanent. It is all temporary. That everybody will say to most of our friends, and even ourselves would have personally had the same statement from our friends. But to be more grounded, to be more optimistic, we can always, since we are talking to a person whom we know very well, whom we understand better, so we can always quote some incidents from their past and say, see, you were capable of handling this situation in the past, so definitely you are going to break through this situation as well. Feel positive, all is going to be okay. Then the person will feel more hope, will feel more confidence in themselves that they can achieve something, and they have gone through really tough path in the front, and they are definitely going to pass also this situation. This too shall pass will be, they can talk to themselves. So this is what I wanted to share in grounded optimism with you. And this traffic light that you see on the slide, you all know how you would relate this with the psychology. It is usually taught to kids to manage their anger. So we talk to them about these signals. Red is stop, orange is relax and be ready, green is to go. So it is usually adopted in different it is usually in different management procedures. I would also relate this to optimism, because when some negative thoughts is coming to you, remember the traffic lights. Just say stop. Say stop, stop, stop. Automatically you are concentrating on the words that you're talking, and you're not talking on you're not thinking about the negative thing. And when you are saying stop, the next step is take deep breath. You are taking a deep breath, say 10 times. You are trying to be in the present moment. Definitely that negative thing will be just away from you, not so far, but just away from you. And when you feel that you are with you, then please decide and tell to yourself, this too shall pass. Be positive. You can do it. It is possible. This is what I would talk to my, and I remember this way. Even smaller things that comes to your mind, don't let it go in, let it go out. Just say stop, stop, stop. Take some 10 deep breath. Live the moment, come to the moment, be present. And then say, this is just one another thing. Stay away. You are going to do it. It is going to be possible. So whenever you're feeling negative, or whenever something not good is happening to you, when you try to do the small thing in your mind, at least you can feel better, and then take some time and then react to what's coming in front of you. So here are some of the nice quotes that we can say is like, choose to be as I told you earlier, optimism is your choice. So I definitely believe that none of us would like to be pessimistic. So let us always choose optimism to feel better. And we are having many, many options. So far, there is no problem without a solution. All is try by yourself or seek help. Definitely, there is a way to break the situation. And here is saying that technically the glass is always full. We always have a theory of half glass, but here it is being more optimistic, saying that half is filled with air and half is filled with water. So the glass is always full. So we always have different perspective to something. And so here is last one. So it is from the Thriving series by Michael Gross. Here are some of the essential optimism skills for children. So being optimistic is the need for all of us, I know, but it is important to teach kids, because any change that you can bring out easily can happen in childhood. And here are some of the tips or skills that a child can possess to be more optimistic in their younger age so that they grow better in their future. So the first one is understand self-talk. So self-talk is very important for any kid. I'm not sure whether every kid has this idea of doing self-talk. I have seen kids who are doing self-talk. So importantly, we have to teach kids to have self-talk, the first point. Secondly, if a child already doing a self-talk is more negative, we have to teach them how to do a positive self-talk. And here you can use the mirror technique. So make the kids stand in front of the mirror, talk some nice words about them, and ask them to speak something nice about them with a cheerful smile. I'm sure they're going to love this act and they will do it. So it is possible that kids can take nicer things more easily that they love. So first thing is teach kids to have self-talk, and in that, if they are negative, teach them how to be positive, and we can use a mirror technique for this. Second is slow down and think through the options. So children generally, when they face negative situations, have negative situations, they tend to come to conclusions easily. So we also have to train them in any situation. They have to think very positively and they should believe in what best they can do it. And this is the way they have to think through different options that is in front of them and not to jump to quick conclusions suddenly. So third one is reframe positively. So as we know that as adults, we know that there are brighter sides in anything. We also have to make the kids understand that in any situation, there are some positive aspects and they have to be keen on that. Big or small, they have to take control over the situation and experience hope teaches them to see good in that and also on others. So it is important they have to look into the positive aspects of any situation. Look for the lesson. Usually, kids have a tendency to take self-blame. Whatever has happened to them in their school or wherever in their friends circle or whatever, they first try to think that it is me who has caused that problem. No problem. Making mistakes is not at all a problem. They have to learn how to make a lesson from the mistake. So this is also we have to train the kids. So we don't have to punish them severely in the first place for doing a mistake. Instead, if they make a mistake, we can tell them that making a mistake is not a problem. Let us learn from it and try not to repeat the same mistake. Then fifth is a fair blame. Okay. So in any life situation, there can be negative things, there can be failures, there can be rejections in relationship. All these things are very important for the kids to be understood. Small or big, they can understand really, really well. And there are three important things that they have to understand is for anything that happens wrong, it is not just their own actions. It is their own actions along with the actions of other people. And sometimes we also have to believe in luck. So luck, other people, and our own actions are very responsible for anything that's going wrong. So we have to teach the kids think in all these three different ways so that they can take a fair blame. They don't have to take all the blame on themselves. Practice perspective taking. So perspective taking is like you have to think to different options and you have to focus on making likely conclusions. It is not just coming to a quick conclusion. It is important to take what is good in a given situation and then come to a conclusion. So use of language levels. Okay, this is alarming. You know that extreme use of languages results in extreme thinking. For example, kids these days, when they're talking their English language, like they use a lot of things. It could be a small pain or it could be a worst thing they have happened, but they call it as a disaster in their words. Oh my God, it was a disaster, mummy, today. So it is really an extreme use of language. Instead of telling disappointing, they would say it was a devastating moment. So it is the use of the language also influence the kids to be optimistic. So we have to train the kids to say, I don't like it, instead of saying, I hate it. There is a way of saying everything positively. So it is important to train them on their language so that as adults, it's okay to understand. But for kids, if they use extremities in language, it also influences their thinking pattern, and it shouldn't end up with a negative thought process. And set realistic goals. It means we have to teach the kids to how to solve a problem. Without teaching and training them how to solve a problem, we cannot ask about reaching a goal. Because they have got many hurdles and barriers in their way to achieve a goal. And if they can't know how to solve a problem, they can't understand what's happening in the process of achieving it. So it is important to teach kids how to solve a problem, a puzzle, and then we can help them or motivate them to work on their goals. Use the disaster meter. So disaster meter is like, we can always ask the kids to have a score chart. They will wonderfully do it. It means the score chart is from 1 to 10. So if we can ask the kids to give the score for anything that happens. For example, they have lost a pencil or their favorite pen, let us take. So that might be really disappointing for the kid that they have lost it. So you can ask them to give a score from 1 to 10, and they can say it is score 6 because it's just a pencil. We can buy the same pencil again, but still it's disappointing for them. So they can score it. So, but if we ask, for an example, if old grandma or a grandpa has left our family, and the child would really, really feel sorry for it. So when we ask them to score their lost thing in their disaster meter, they would definitely give 10 or 10 plus, because that is really close to their hearts, their memory forever, and all that cannot be brought back. So in this way, if we teach the kids to train their, to rank their disasters based on the scores, they will definitely know what to take it as a smaller loss, what to take it as a bigger loss, not to treat everything in the same way. So this is one tip given by Michael Cross, that we can use the disaster meter to train the kids to be more optimistic. Count your everyday blessings. The same way as we spoke for adults before, we also have to train the kids to understand what's happening in, what are the blessings. And you have to always tell about other kids who are underprivileged, and in what way we are more privileged in life. And they shouldn't feel happy for getting first rank in they shouldn't feel sad for getting first rank in the class. Instead, they should be able to feel happy that they're able to compete for the first rank. And it is okay, not everybody in the class can have their first ranks. So when we can motivate the kids, and when we can appreciate even smaller things, and when we can teach them how to be more grateful to whatever they have in their life, for example, their own life or food or whatever. So we have to teach them not to waste their food, because it is not available for everyone on this earth. There are more people struggling for food. So for even smaller things they touch and feel, we have to tell them that we have to count their blessings. So I think all these, if we try one by one slowly when they're in their childhood, I'm sure, and even I can bet, if they are practicing it regularly, they're going to become a highly optimistic adult in the future. It is not just for kids. It might look kiddish, but I would say also for us, it's going to be very useful. I'm not sure whether all of us know all these before, but even I'm impressed, and I'm interested to try some of this in my life and also for my kids. Hope this will be of help to you, whatever we have spoken about optimism today. And that's all about today's. And you're very much welcome to ask your doubts, or you can contribute your thoughts on this topic. Thank you.
Last list which we discussed was a wonderful list. Like you said, it is not just for kids alone, and we adults can use it as well. As you were going through each one of the points, I was able to relate it to myself about and my kids and my family in general, about where we can work on. um, it, there are so many things which we already know, but it is just that we don't remember it in the right moment. So seeing this consolidated list, it is a very good reminder for each one of us to actually go through that and start incorporating that in the daily life.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Nice to hear. Even to me, the more impressive was the disaster meter, because even my own kids have, every kid is different and they have their own way of dealing with things. But when they can understand, not everything is the same. I'm sure their perspectives are going to change, looking at the world in a different way. And slowly training their minds would definitely make them feel more better. So that's how, even without knowing what the name is, we have been trying different things with our own kids. But after knowing this consolidated list, even I felt really good to have it for my own use. Nice, thank you.
Very true. Because kids unknowingly they use a lot of statements, like you said. My daughter often uses things like, "This person is very lucky. They got this." And I often explain to them about that is something very simple, and you have better things in life. And I'm very surprised that you consider this person to be more luckier than you. That they don't realize that it could be something very simple. Like, for example, she said this person is very lucky. Her mom sends her Maggie every twice in a week. So I explained to her about it is something simple. You can also get that. It's not that it is something which is out of your reach. So often we need to remind them about it.
That's really nice, because yesterday we just bought her some paint brushes and a canvas, just that, not so big really, but she was super happy for that. I also believe that we don't get things immediately what they ask for. They have to have their longingness so that they will really cherish what they have. So I know every parent has their own of handling things in their own beautiful ways. But when it comes to a discussion like this, we learn from each other how to make things really better. That works for us. So any other comments or questions or any contributions are more welcome.
Good class, ma'am. So I
Thank
just
you,
want.
Kadari.
So there was actually this normally, I mean, positive terminology. They have adopted this, and Seligman had conducted a study in I think you remember this Geelong Grammar School in Australia. It's
Yeah.
been years they've been there. So there they started the positive psychology, whatever the terminology, the entire school. So there, there is nothing, there is no room for negativity, whatever they discuss in daily language. So their productivity, work, and everything from that school, whoever passed out, comparatively, have reached greater heights, and character, personality, and all. So that is what, like, we have to imbibe this language of positivity in day-to-day life, so that we'll transfer it to wherever we work, and we'll spread the positive aura, whether it is in schools or in community. That, I mean, in schools, like, it must be, everybody should inculcate in schools that they should, minimum it is as a communication technique or a psychological technique. But if they are able to practice the skill as positive development of language from childhood onwards, and this, I mean, it might fetch good results in the community level, school level also. See, that's it.
It is very, actually, thank you, Kadari, for your nice contribution of thoughts. Actually, I think it is very easy to follow, but we have to take efforts from their younger ages, so that, at least you can have partial results when they grow up. Nicer things to be taught, because to change minds of kids, not to change, really to train them is really easy when they are more younger. And it is, and as you said about Australia, also this Michael Gross that I was talking about, the ideas that he has told about the optimistic skills for kids. He is a very nice educator, and he's a very motivating speaker. He's from Australia as well. He has got many parenting ideas, blogs on the websites. You can go through it, and he's from Australia as well. So it's really nice to know things. Whenever we want to talk and discuss some nicer topics, we go deep in learning more things, and we get to learn and get to know better of what we are thinking about something. Really, thank you, Carrie. Thank you. Anybody else? Kanaka ma'am, Vidya ma'am.
மேம் நான் பேசலாமா? நான் தமிழ்ல தான் பேசுறேன். உங்களுக்கு புரியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Yeah, it's okay, ma'am. You can talk whatever language you want. We can translate it always, no problem.
அதுக்கு முன்னாடி உங்க நேமும் சந்திரா. எவ்ரி டைம் அவங்க டாக்டர் சந்திரா சொல்லும் போதெல்லாம் எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா இருக்கு. உங்களதான் சொல்றாங்க, இருந்தா கூட என் பேருக்கு முன்னாடி அது சொல்லும் போதே எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு.
Please take it, ma'am. Doctor is just a word. You can take it also, no problem.
அப்படி இல்ல, இருந்தாலும் எனக்கு அது அந்த ஃபீல்ட் ரொம்ப
You can
பிடிக்கும்.
relate it. I'm happy for you. I'm happy.
எஸ், ஓகே மேம். அப்புறம் இன்னைக்கு செஷன் ரொம்ப சூப்பரா இருந்தது. ஆப்டிமிசம் பத்தி நிறைய தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டேன். இது தெரிஞ்சுக்கும் போது நான் எப்படின்னு எனக்கு தெரியுது. நான் அப்போ ஓரளவுக்கு நான் ஆப்டிமிஸ்டிக் பர்சன் தான் அப்படின்னு நான் ஃபீல் பண்றேன். அதனால நான் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா நினைக்கிறேன். அதை நான் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷப்படுறேன். அப்புறம் இந்த கிரவுண்டட் ஆப்டிமிசம் பத்தி நீங்க சொன்னீங்க. பட் நான் அந்த மாதிரி யாருக்காவது ஒரு பிரச்சனை போது நான் இப்படிதான் நான் அவங்களுக்கு அவங்க கூட நான் பேசியிருக்கேன். ஆனா இதுக்கு பேர் தான் கிரவுண்டட் ஆப்டிமிசம்னு எனக்கு தெரியாது. இதுக்கு இப்படி ஒரு பேர் இருக்கு, இதுக்கு இவ்வளவு பவர் இருக்குது அப்படின்றதே தெரியாம நான் இதை பண்ணியிருக்கேன்னு அதுவும் எனக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா இருக்கு. அப்புறம் ஸ்கோர் சார்ட் அது எனக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப பிடிச்சது. ஏன்னா எனக்கு 2 கிட்ஸ் இருக்காங்க. பெரியவன் +2 முடிச்சு இப்போ காலேஜ் ஜாயின் பண்ணிட்டாரு. சின்னவன் 4th. அவன் ரொம்ப என் கூடயே தான் சுத்திக்கிட்டு இருப்பான். இத நீங்க சொல்லும் போது நான் நினைக்கிறேன் அடுத்து இதுதான் பண்ணணும். ஏன்னா அவனுக்கு எது இப்ப நீங்க இதுல சொன்னது எனக்குமே பிடிச்சிருக்கு. எந்த இழப்புக்கு நாம ரொம்ப வருத்தப்படணும், எது நமக்கு ஒரு சில்லி விஷயத்துக்குலாம் நம்ம ரொம்ப மூஞ்சி தூக்கி வச்சுட்டு அது எனக்கு போயிடுச்சேன்னு ஃபீல் பண்ணாம இது எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சது இந்த ஸ்கோர் சார்ட். ஸோ இதை நாம இன்னைக்கு இந்த செஷன் முடிஞ்ச உடனே இதை நம்ம ஒரு சார்ட் போட்டு இதை ரெடி பண்ணும் அப்படின்னு மைண்டுக்குள்ள ஓடிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. இவ்வளவெல்லாம் சொல்றதுக்கு நான் இங்கிலீஷ்ல வார்த்தை பொறுக்கிறது எனக்கு சிரமமா இருக்கும். அதனாலதான் நான் தமிழ்லயே சொல்றேன். இந்த செஷன் எனக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிச்சு. ரொம்ப ரொம்ப நன்றி.
உங்களுக்கு புரிஞ்ச மாதிரி நான் சொல்லிட்டேன்னா அதுதான் எனக்கு தெரியணும். ஏன்னா நீங்க
இல்ல ரொம்ப புரியுது. ஆக்சுவலா நான் எம்சிஏ முடிச்சிருக்கேன் மேம். என்ன அப்படின்னா இந்த மாதிரி சரளமா இங்கிலீஷ் பேசுறதுக்கு அதுக்கு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டியே இல்லைல்ல. நம்ம எப்பயும் படிச்சு முடிச்சிட்டோம். இப்ப கடகடன்னு பேசுறதுக்கு இப்ப டெய்லியும் ஒரு 1 hour இந்த மாதிரி இங்கிலீஷ்ல பேசிக்கிட்டே இருந்தோம்னா ஒருவேளை எனக்கு அது கரெக்டா வந்திருக்கும். ஆனா நீங்க சொன்னது ஒரு புள்ளி அளவு கூட மிஸ் ஆகாம எனக்கு புரியுது.
வெரி நைஸ், வெரி நைஸ்.
ஆமா, எல்லாத்தையும் ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட்ஸும் எடுத்து வச்சிருக்கேன். நீங்க சொன்ன விஷயங்கள் நிறைய எழுதியும் வச்சிருக்கேன். சோ எனக்கு ரொம்ப புரிஞ்சுது, ரொம்ப பிடிச்சது.
We will definitely share this PowerPoint in the group. So don't worry about the material. Firstly, Chandra ma'am, you don't have to try 1 hour of English, but I think you should use opportunities like this to start talking. No problem. We are all friends. We are not going to find mistakes with whatever you are going to speak in English. We are going to be happy listening to you. So this time is okay. From tomorrow onwards, I give you, I wish that you take your chance to talk in English. You are the master. Don't
I will try not. Okay, ma'am. Definitely, I will try to
very
speak.
Nice, very nice.
Whatever I can,
good.
Whatever I can speak, I will speak.
Superb. Tomorrow we are going to listen to you in English. So before to hear the next comment, I would like to translate what Mrs. Chandra has said. I'm also Chandra. She's also Chandra. So she's happy to share name with me. That's what she said. Whenever they call me Dr. Chandra, she feels really happy. So I'm happy for that too. And she said she feels very happy about the session because she's able to introspect and analyze herself to be more optimistic. And she's finding most of the qualities in her. And so she's very happy about the session today. Next thing is when I told about grounded optimism, she did not join us in the beginning of our activity. But what she's saying is I have been doing this to my friends and family, but I never knew that it is called by this term grounded optimism and it is having such a power. Chandra ma'am, I would tell you here, we might have done grounded optimism in our life somewhere, but from now on, let us try to do grounded optimism everywhere. That's what I'm trying to do as well. So that is there. And she is so fond of the disaster meter that I have explained in the optimistic skills of kids, because she wants to explain to her own kids that what is really big, what is really small, not to see everything in the same scale. So I'm happy that some thoughts of mine have been really useful to you, Chandra ma'am. Thank you so much. Anybody else? I would be happy to hear few words from you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am. Chandra ma'am, I'm Shiny.
Good evening, Sarup ma'am. Good evening.
My name is Shiny. It's my son's.
Okay, Shiny ma'am.
name.
Yesterday you were not able to join. I get it. I get it.
Yes, yes. You know, it's first of all, let me congratulate on doing such a great effort to spread positivity or optimism in others, ma'am. It's a great.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And yesterday I could not join. Really, I missed the session, but I have joined some of the daily sessions at 6:30, like emotions and all. And it's wonderful thing, And I came to know from Dr. Srinivasan, our doctor from KMCH, about this program, and he forwarded this. Okay, and and along with Chandra, Vishaka, many are there here, some of them are SIRS patients. So we learned lots of things from him, what you all tell, but we don't know the scientific words or something like grounded theory, like gratitude, something, all the scientific or the psychological terms we don't know, ma'am. But when I listen to the points, about the qualities, characteristics, everything about the optimistic person, we are learning through him, he will be telling everything. But when we come across in the earlier times or 3 or 4 years before, I was an pessimistic person, I did not had many of the qualities. And now when you come across or when you discussed about it, we are telling, oh, we all have, or I have acquired many of the qualities or optimistic, and I'm on the way to optimistic, very happy about it. Then what Chandra told, I could get many of the new terminologies like grounded optimism, and I'm also very eager. Today morning, I was talking to one of my auntie. She was her sugar diabetic level is too high since long time, and she was worried about it. So because of her worries, diabetes or blood sugar level is high. Okay, so I was telling about it because look, auntie, you can come out of it because you have come out of many hard struggle situations because of her husband, died at when she was in bed at hospital, and could not him, during the all hard times were there, lots of struggles, and she went to little bit depression and all. So I just told in the morning, and I'm so happy when you told about, oh, this is what is grounded optimism. And she was happy to hear, she got some kind of confidence when I told her, this is just nothing comparing with that, you can sure come out of it. I just told, and but as everyone told, I don't know what is this grounded optimism all. It's very happy. And the new thing, a mirror technique, then scorecards, everything was new to me. And thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing such a wonderful knowledge. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shiny ma'am. As you said rightly, sharing knowledge. Yeah, this is all learned from the other courses and what I have experienced and that I have shared. I'm happy that you have taken nice learnings from this session. And regarding grounded optimism, whenever somebody tells me any problem, the first word that strikes my mind is grounded optimism. Chandra, you're not going to say okay to it anymore. You're going to say what they have gone through so that you feel them motivated. That is really one nice thing. I'm carrying it since I learned that topic. And I'm happy that I have shared some terms with you as well. So I hope for a better optimistic family together. Anybody else? That's it? Okay. So thank you so much. Someone is
Sorry,
talking?
Mr. Devraj and you were sharing about some parenting techniques by an Australian person. So is it possible you could share that information also in the group, please?
Yeah, I would give that I think Devraju was talking about another one person and I was talking about other. And when I will share you this presentation, you will see the source given below. So definitely if you put that on the Google, you're going to reach him online. So
Okay,
still,
fantastic.
if I have more interesting about parenting ideas, we keep posting. This group is
That'd be
always
great.
there. So whatever inputs we get regarding optimism, we will keep posting it. So
That's
it is
great.
good. Thank you. So thank you so much for taking part in this session and talking nice words about us. So we hope you are enjoying your workshop here, and tomorrow will be the third day of the workshop. Please be there, and thank you. Thank you for all your discussion. Thank you for your contributions to this session. See you all tomorrow. If you have anything that you want to learn, just feel free to message in the group. We will take care and we will just deal it in the upcoming parts of the workshop. Thank you. See you all tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.